Hello friends and welcome back. Our today's topic is superposition theorem. So in this video we will see what is superposition theorem, what is the necessary condition to apply superposition theorem, and finally we will take an example, and with the help of that example I will explain how superposition theorem can be applicable to any electrical network. Okay. So friends, first of all remember this theorem can be used to calculate voltage across any element. Suppose your network consists of multiple elements like resistor, inductor or capacitor, then this theorem can be utilized to calculate voltage across any element. Similarly, this theorem can also be used to calculate current flowing through any element, or we can say that we can find any branch current by using this superposition theorem. But there is one necessary condition to apply this theorem. So friends, the condition is this theorem is applicable only when more than one energy source is present in your network. Okay, so let us consider this circuit. So here we are having two energy source, voltage V1 and V2. So this theorem is applicable only when your circuit consists of two energy sources, minimum two energy sources, two or more than two. So necessarily it can be a voltage source or it can be a current source. Okay, so if only one energy source, either voltage source or current source is present in your network, then superposition theorem cannot be applied. So here in this circuit we are having two voltages, so we can apply superposition theorem over here. Okay, so now with the help of one example we will try to understand how to apply superposition theorem. So friends, let us consider this simple circuit. So here we are having two energy sources, 6 volt and 4 volt. Okay, and what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the current I. This current I is nothing but the current flowing through this 6 ohm resistance. Okay, so we have to calculate this current using superposition theorem. Now first of all check our condition. What is the necessary condition? Our circuit must contains two or more energy sources. So here we are having two different voltage source. Now we can apply superposition theorem. Okay, so superposition theorem can be applied like this. So friends, while applying superposition theorem, we will consider one source at a time. So initially we will keep 6 volt active. Okay, 6 volt will be active and then 4 volt will be active. When 6 volt is active, at that time we will replace 4 volt by its internal resistance. So internal resistance of voltage source is 0, so it should be replaced with short circuit. So here you can see that 4 volt is shorted, and in the next case when 6 volt is deactivated, it should be replaced with short circuit like this, and at that time 4 volt will be active. Okay, now consider the first case when only 6 volt is active. Okay, now let us suppose we have to calculate the current flowing through this 6 ohm resistor. Now we have activated only 6 volt, so let us suppose this is not our final current, so let us suppose this current is I1. Okay, and when 4 volt is active, the current flowing through 6 ohm, we are calling that current as I2. Okay, so two currents we are getting for two different sources. Okay, now this current I1 is due to what? This 6 volt. So let us suppose current flowing due to this 6 volt is total current I. When this current comes at this point, it will get divided into two parts. Some current will pass through this 8 ohm and some current will pass through this 6 ohm. Okay, so we have to apply current divider rule over here like this. So friends, now by current divider rule, how we can write the equation for I1? Now I1 is passing through 6 ohm. So neglect 6 ohm. What is the another resistance? 8 ohm. So write in the numerator 8 ohm. Okay, and in the denominator write both resistances in which current is divided. So current is getting divided into 8 ohm and 6 ohm. So 6 plus 8. This you are getting, and this should be multiplied with total incoming current. Now what is the total incoming current? It is nothing but this current I. Okay, so what you are getting? 4 by 7 into I. Now we don't know what is the value of I. So what is I? I is nothing but the total current coming from this 6 volt. So according to Ohm's law, what is total current? Total voltage upon total resistance. Okay, so what is the voltage you are applying over here? 6 volt. Okay, so this should be divided by total resistance. Now if you look at this circuit, what you can see, this 6 and 8 ohm, these two are parallel. So 6 parallel to 8 you are getting. Okay, and this combination is in series with 10 ohm, so plus 10 we will write. Okay, so this you are getting. Now solve this equation you are getting, so you will get 446 milliampere. Now put this value in this equation, you will get I1. So I1 comes out to be 255 milliampere if you do the calculation. So this is nothing but the current flowing through this 6 ohm resistor due to 6 volt. Now similarly we will now calculate the current flowing through the 6 ohm due to this 4 volt. Okay, so again if you look at this diagram, the current flowing due to this 4 volt is nothing but total current I. Now when this current comes at this point, it will get divided into two parts. Some current will pass through 10 ohm, some current will pass through 6 ohm. So we will apply current divider rule like this. So friends, now current due to 4 volt is nothing but I2. So now I2 is passing through 6 ohm. So if we apply current divider rule, neglect 6 ohm, what is the another resistance? 10 ohm. So write in the numerator and write the combination of these two resistors. So 6 plus 10. Okay, so what you are getting? 5 by 8, and this should be multiplied with total current. So what is the total current we are assuming? Total current I. Now we don't know total current. So what is total current? Total voltage upon total resistance. Same as first step. Okay. So what is the total voltage you are applying over here? 4 volt. Okay. And total resistance will be what? So here you can see that this 6 and this 10 ohm are in parallel. So 6 parallel to 10. And this combination is in series with this 8 ohm resistor. So plus 8. So this is the total resistance you are getting. Now calculate this. So you will get 340 milliampere as total current. Now put this in above equation. We will get the value of I2 like this. So friends, your total current I2 comes out to be 212 milliampere. Now this is the current due to 4 volt only. Okay, so we have got both currents due to 6 volt and due to 4 volt. Now we will do their algebraic addition like this. So friends, now by superposition theorem we are getting this equation, means our total current I is nothing but algebraic addition of current flowing through to individual voltages or individual energy sources. So I is flowing due to 6 volt, I2 was flowing due to 4 volt. So if we add them, then we will get the total response of 6 volt as well as 4 volt. So this is nothing but your total current I. Now we have the values of I1 and I2. Put these values, you will get total current I like this. So friends, this is your I1 due to 6 volt, this is I2 due to 4 volt. If we do their addition, we are getting total current I, which is nothing but 467 milliampere. So this is nothing but the total current flowing through 6 ohm when both 6 volt and 4 volt are active. Okay. So friends, this is nothing but your total current, and we have calculated this current using superposition theorem. Okay, now we have solved the same example by using nodal analysis. For same circuit we have applied nodal analysis, and at that time we have got 468 milliampere, and by nodal analysis our answer was 468 milliampere, and by superposition theorem we are getting 467 milliampere, means almost same answer we are getting. So whatever technique you are applying, you will get the same answer. So in this way, by using superposition theorem, you can calculate the current flowing through any branch of the network. But you have to remember, the only disadvantage of this theorem is that this theorem cannot be applied when your circuit contains only one energy source. So your circuit should contain at least two energy sources, two or more than two energy sources, then only this theorem is applicable. So this is part 1 of superposition theorem. In the next part we will see when our circuit contains both voltage source and current source, then how we can calculate the current. So thank you very much for watching this. If you are having any difficulties, please ask in the comment section. So if you really like this video, please press the like button and do not forget to subscribe my channel. So thank you very much. Have a nice day.